get you caught up to speed on what's happening. Also, I added some props. Week 11 is in the books. Air is getting thin at the top of the mountain. Mahomes leads the league in interceptions. And I said Lamar is more dynamic than Joe Burrow on 2-point conversion attempts, and then he lost the game on one. I said Drake May is playing amazing, and then he ended the game on another interception. I was at that game with my son, and we left. So without further ado, it's supposed to be a thin air bit.
I'm done.
Sounds like I just like creatively getting into it, you know what I'm saying? Let me hit that oxygen, bro. And oxygen here, fellas. Sorry. Without further ado, it's time for another edition of Mahomes Mountain.
Well done, KW. When I heard through the grapevine you weren't using the green screen today, I thought it was because you were mailing in the intro.
A little
but
bit.
You know what? Great job, my friend. All right, off the mountain, just 4 guys. Pretty easy. 4 guys who have no business being starting quarterbacks in this league, maybe any league, to be totally honest with you. Cooper Rush, McCorkle Jones, Tommy DeVito, and Will Levis, those 4 guys. And by the way, if you see Tommy DeVito's agent walking around New York City, he wants to take a picture with you, I promise. Bottom row, shout out to this. Well, listen, Bryce, Caleb, Aaron, Derek, and Jameis all stay where they are. Some because of a bye week, some because they didn't play poorly enough to drop down or well enough to move up. But shout out to Gardner Minshew, back being the starter. Listen, they didn't play great, but played well enough to get back on the mountain. And Anthony Richardson came back, played well, executed a comeback. He had some goofy plays, but also had a play with a guy draped all over him through a laser where you just see the, the potential upside. So there they are. 6th row.
Can I ask you a question?
Okay, go ahead.
Are we supposed to apologize to the Colts for making the decision to bench him? Was that actually did it work out? I feel like we might.
No, I don't think the Colts earned our apology there because I don't think they were honest with us about it. It seemed like it came from on high, and then it was going to be Flacco, and then it wasn't, and whatever it is. All right.
No apologies.
6th row. Even in the win, Russ has to drop. That pick he threw was the worst non-Will Levis play of the NFL season, and he's played a little bit worse in each game of this 4-game winning streak. Brock Purdy has to drop. He played poorly. Kirk Cousins, worried about Kirk now. That Comeback Player of the Year award might be wide open because the 2 quarterbacks coming off the Achilles who are the huge favorites, one is everyone's getting fired but him and his best friends, and the other one can't move. I mean, Kirk can't move. Drake May stays where he is. Sam Darnold, quiet 8-2. But, staving off pumpkin mode as best as he can. And fair is fair. Bo Nix has earned a spot up the mountain. Do I believe in him long term? I do not. Has he played well enough to be a 6th row guy? He has. 5th row, Jordan Love slowly but surely moving back up after a few full Will Levis moments himself, missed time, but he's moving back up. Baker was on a bye. He stays where he is. I didn't think CJ played great last night. I thought he played fine, but he's not going to drop him.
That's what he's been all
Right,
year.
that's kind of what he's been all year. My guy, Geno. I can't quit Geno, man. He's just out here making plays. His strong arm, muddy pocket, doesn't matter, running for game-winning touchdowns. First time in his career beating the Niners. Shout out Geno. And Tua, listen, I think he's playing an even more reckless brand of football than he's ever played. They're winning. He's playing better. He's looking kind of like the old Tua for good or for bad. 4th row. Listen, man. Don't say I dislike Jared Goff just because I called him a civilian. I moved him up. Fair is fair. Fresh off, that's about as high as you can be fresh off a half-dozen interception game. He's a top 10 guy. Kyler on a bye stays where he is. Jalen stays where he is. Jaden had to drop a bit. We got to see now if Jaden's not going to be able to run the football. Because if he's not going to run the football, it's not that that's all that he does, but the passing numbers weren't so amazing that he was a top 5 guy. It was that plus the running. 3rd row, Lamar has to slip a bit. And I understand the arguments for Lamar. The arguments against Lamar seem to be also, though, made by the people who make the arguments for Lamar, which is the Ravens are better off when they don't let him throw the football, but he's the MVP of the league. I don't quite follow it, but he drops a bit. Justin Herbert almost moved up. But the top 3 is a very hard top 3 to crack right now, and my guy, Matt Stafford. Last 4 weeks out here dealing. Matt Stafford 3-4. They're 3-1 in the last 4 weeks. 10 touchdowns, 3 picks. After a shaky start to the season, looking like the old Matt Stafford. And now, what everyone's waiting for. What movement is there at the top? Well, we know Lamar's dropped down. Let's show row 2.
I mean,
Josh Allen moves up in place of Lamar. Joe Burrow stays where he is. Oh, you want me to drop Joe Burrow after Sunday Night Football? Yeah, Joe Burrow should have done more. Execute 21-point comeback.
no, they have 3 and out. Yeah, 3 and out.
When did he go 3 and out?
When the game was on the line. He went
No, they got him in field goal range twice with the game on the line. You got him in field goal range twice with the game on the line. The kid who made the clutch kick against Kansas City hasn't made a clutch kick since then. Blame it on him. Joe Burrow's playing great. I'm not going to hear it. Josh Allen deserves to move up. He's everyone's MVP. And then there's top of the mountain. So what is it going to take to dethrone Patrick Mahomes? The same thing it took last year. We're going to need a stretch of football where Mahomes and the Chiefs I can't knock him off his namesake mountain when he still has the best record in the entire NFL, when he is still playing as well in the fourth quarter as any player in the league. I'm not going to do it. Now, if they start losing games, if he drops, so be it. That's what happened last year. But that right now, Greg Jennings, is Mahomes Mountain heading into Week 12.
Well, shout out to Wildes for an amazing open. I think that was one of your best performances. I gotta give you those. This mountain, I'm disappointed. I'm so very disappointed, but I'm not shocked. Mahomes Mountain should be Allen's Alpine.
Alpine. Well,
like that's
Alpine. Allen's Alps.
No, Alpine.
Like a speaker.
Yeah.
Alpine. And this is why. Because a couple weeks ago, or a while back, someone on this show tried to move Josh Allen up.
Yeah.
And you know what? I don't even want to explain it. Let's just take a listen to what happened when Allen tried to get moved up, and let's hear it. Our friend Nick had to say.
Of course, he's going to stay on the top of the mountain. When he's the 2-time defending Super Bowl champion and he hasn't lost since Christmas, he's going to stay on the top of the mountain. We are just a week removed from him having, from a completion percentage perspective, what was it, Wildes? The worst game in NFL history. I mean, it was 1 week ago. Okay. I don't see anything there that makes me
no. Well, because now we're 6 weeks removed.
And he moved up. He was a row 3 guy. Now he's a row 2 guy.
And what you also...
You want to skip steps?
And what you also said in that was, you know, the last time Mahomes has lost is Christmas and blah, blah, blah. Well, guess who beat Mahomes?
The guy who Nick said was going to beat him, Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
Said it all year, bro.
And when we look at his numbers since that Week 5 performance, this is what it looks like. We don't even... You know what? I don't need that. We don't need to compare the two. We know Josh Allen.
Loss at Texans.
But this is who he's been. 6-0 is this team record. Points per game, almost best in the league. Like completion percentage, everything is just trending to the point of where he's been the best quarterback playing right now. And might I add, one of the requirements that we typically have is, okay, has Patrick Mahomes lost? I was with you. No, you can't knock him when he doesn't lose. But he lost, and he lost to the guy that he got outperformed by that guy.
Right. So here's the thing, which is why if Allen had been a row 2 guy already, he might have moved up. We're not skipping steps. What are we doing? All right, you know what? I'll make you a deal. Cross my heart, swear to the audience and to you, Greg Jennings. Unless Mahomes has a vintage Mahomes game this week, and that means I'll put numbers on it. At least 300 yards, at least 3 touchdowns in a substantial win. If Josh Allen wins this week, he'll be atop the mountain.
That's fair. Take that.
No matter what he does?
No matter what.
Okay. Who's
They're on a bye.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Broussard. This is fair. Look, and you know on a bye, you're locked into place. So Allen's going to have to wait a bit. It's
Greg Jennings, you made a great argument. But look, what are we doing? Lamar Jackson should switch places with Joe Burrow.
Thank you.
I mean, what? One bad game? How many bad games has Mahomes had? How many bad games? Allen had one of the worst games in history.
How many bad games Joe Burrow had? He's the guy you're moving down.
He's had a few.
He has?
You don't lose to New England unless you played poorly.
Week 1 was his one bad game.
It's this season. Here, let me count the ways that Lamar should be with.
Yeah.
They both have bad defenses.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear that as an excuse. They both got bad defenses. Who's got the best receiver by a mile of the two teams? Joe Burrow with Jamar Chase. Might have the 2 best. Good point with T. Higgins. All right, and yet Burrow is also playing a fourth-place schedule. All right? Lamar's playing a first-place schedule, so a much tougher schedule he's playing. His numbers are, passer rating better than Burrow's by a significant margin, even though he doesn't have 117 to like 112.
That's not a significant margin.
It's significant. It's fairly significant.
Isn't it 1 and 2 in the league?
Yeah, but it's a nice cushion there. 4%. All right? Lamar ain't feeling him at all. Where's he at? Where's the second guy? All right, anyway, Lamar's beaten Burrow twice, and they both played well. Not kinda. Great. He beat him twice. They both played great. Burrow, this has to matter. 0-6 against teams with winning records.
Well, that seems like something.
They're good when they play the chumps and the tomato cans.
They're pretty good against Baltimore.
What, they're 0-2.
That's not Burrow's side of the ball. They're averaging 37
Lamar
points
ain't got
a game.
no defense either. That's the thing. He got the worst pass defense in the league, and yet Burrow couldn't capitalize. Lamar could. All right, Lamar's 3-2. I'm laying it out thoroughly because
you're laying out all these teams.
Lamar's 3-2. Oh, here's an individual stat. Burrow has 3 games under 90 passer rating. Lamar only has 2. Burrow has 0 games over 140 passer rating. Lamar has 3. I mean, come on. A week ago, not even a week ago, Lamar was the unanimous MVP.
Yes.
And now he has one bad game.
Not one. So here's the thing.
And then he moved.
It's not one bad game.
There's no way.
He has not moved down because of the bad game. He has moved down because of the damning with faint praise by his most ardent defenders. Like, I can't say, when the Bengals lose, nobody says, you know what they did wrong? They let Joe Burrow throw you know what they put the game in Joe Burrow's hands. Yet all of the biggest Lamar defenders I know, whether it's
Burrow doesn't have freaking Derrick Henry in the backfield.
Okay, well,
believe me, you would be hearing a lot of why didn't they give it to Henry if indeed they wouldn't if he had him in Cincinnati.
Counterpoint,
no question.
Derrick Henry was not on the Ravens last year, and all I hear about the AFC Championship game is why didn't they give the ball to the running backs there? So if the biggest the biggest Lamar Jackson supporters feel like the Ravens lose when they give the ball to Lamar Jackson, I can't have him above Joe Burrow when the Bengals' only path to win is give the ball to Joe Burrow.
Nick, what turned the Bills season around last year and has been the case for the most part this year?
He's firing the offensive coordinator.
Well, and what did Joe Brady do, the offensive coordinator? He said,
take the ball out of
Josh, we're going to throw it less. Yep. We're not going to throw it as much. Not throwing nearly as much as he has in the past, and he's been better. And that's if you want to use that against Lamar, use it against Josh.
Okay, except when the Bills lose, we don't all
because they got nobody else.
Right.
They got nobody else.
Okay. So listen, I think Joe has more responsibility for that team than Lamar does. And I think that if we are going to talk about the Derrick Henry piece of it, then the Derrick Henry piece of it has to be factored into the record between the two of them. Go ahead, Wildes.
What?
Wildes' 2-point
I don't know if
conversion
that's
thing was
you
the
or
ultimate
me.
thing.
Oh, I'm 100%.
You're with me?
No, he's with you. He's with you.
There are plays in every Bengals game that Joe Burrow does not make that we have to just pretend to ignore because he has a great game.
Because they scored 35 points?
It's not enough, dude. That's not how it works.
Right.
He didn't score enough. At the end of the game, when you're gunning the ball and it's like you need 2 yards, what are you doing? Then you're punting away, and Justin Herbert wins the game.
You guys told me yesterday Lamar did enough to beat the Steelers. They scored 16 points.
He didn't. They lost the game.
Wildes was saying he didn't do enough.
He didn't do enough.
I said
he had a 2-point conversion. He didn't do enough.
He said he didn't do enough.
I would have had Derrick Henry up there.
Go ahead.
I'll tell you who is doing enough.
I assume this is a Bo Nix segment.
No, this is Jared Goff.
What?
What do you want Jared Goff to? Here's how bad the Jacksonville Jaguars are. You can throw 4 touchdowns against them, have a perfect passer rating, and beat them by 46 and barely move up the mountain.
He moved up the mountain.
Not enough. What do you want this team to do? Super Bowl faves. Jared Goff should switch with Matthew Stafford. It's a little bit, maybe it's a Patriots compliment. Matthew Stafford lit up the Patriots defense because no one decided to put Christian Gonzalez on Cooper Kupp or Puka. Didn't make any sense to me. Nobody wants to listen to me from the second deck. Raw stats, Jared Goff, how's he doing? Great. Crushing. Obviously.
Wow.
And stomping teams, too. You know what? I like a little bit of attitude. Oh, I'm playing okay. I'm doing enough to win. Not me. Stomping guys. Oh, a 12-round decision. Oh, I'll get there. No, first round knockout.
I'm with you.
That's what I
like
like.
that.
Old Mike Tyson, not Mike Tyson showing his behind. Mike Tyson putting guys on their behind.
There you go. I like it.
You got more?
I got 3.
Keep it going, Wild.
I'm Mike Tyson's behind.
You got me rolling. I'm in stitches over here.
I know he had one bad game. These interceptions weren't horrible. One was a Hail Mary. I'll take that off the board. So you take the Houston game out, and every other game he's just dominating. Also, how did the Houston game go in the end? They won the game. So he did enough to win the game, which is what I like. You can't not do enough and then really lose. Finally, you lit him up with a very damning
I called him a civilian.
That was mean. It was mean-spirited.
It wasn't mean-spirited.
Well, it set the internet on fire.
Okay.
Because you said he wasn't a superhero. And everyone's lighting all my Detroit Lions friends, which I have one, says, you know who else is civilian? Tom Brady!
Ooh. No,
although he was called handsome.
Tom Brady has superpower, accuracy
What was it?
and clutch, just like Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is the superhero in the build of Tom Brady, accurate and
Let's
clutch.
not compare Joe Burrow with...
No, I'm just saying neither one of them has
Brady
superhero physical traits, but they play like a superhero. Okay, here's the deal.
He's second in first of all, Jared Goff is second in completion percentage.
Yes,
he's had
very
several
accurate.
perfect games.
Yeah,
so
he's been unbelievable.
Anyways,
which is why he moved up the mountain.
I know, but remember in the pressure, he couldn't pressure. Oh, he's small hands, he gets nervous, but now he's playing great. So his one flaw, all of a sudden, he leads the NFL in all the stuff that he was actually really bad at.
Yeah, that water will find its level on, I guarantee you. But
buddy, we're like nearing the playoffs.
Right, but the other one is one is a 10-game sample, the other is his whole career with the Lions. So I think water will find its level on that. It's also very interesting you're doing Goff versus Stafford. Greg, what do you think would happen if those two guys, like, I don't know, something crazy, like got traded for each other? Do you think one guy's team would instantly win the Super Bowl while the other guy's team would build towards it? I don't know. That's a fun thought exercise.
How's it playing out now?
Well, let's see how it plays out.
What team has a better future right now? If I told you one team won 2 Super Bowls, which team? Thank you.
What do you mean one team won 2 Super Bowls?
The story on the Stafford Goff trade is not a closed book.
No, I agree.
This is an open story, and I think by the time we get to the end of this story, they're like, ooh, I'm surprised.
Okay, so that's a bet we can make. I'll make it with you right now.
Won too.
Who is more likely to win 2 Super Bowls with their team? Stafford with the Rams or Goff with the Lions?
Well, if the Lions win this one, you think then Stafford will have a shot at winning one before the Lions do?
Here's what I think. I'm not chalking this one up for the Lions yet, but if you want to,
but they're favorites.
Yeah, that's fine. I would love to make that. I think it is far more likely Stafford wins another Super Bowl with the Rams than Goff wins multiple with the Lions. That is a bet I would love to take.
He got a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm. That's why you said 2. You said 2. Listen.
Play the trump card.
What's the trump card?
I don't even know what it is. I don't even know what it is.
What is it?
Jaquaski Tart.
I wasn't ready, but that's more your.
It's over. Jaquaski Tart.
Jaquaski Tart.
That's it. Now you gotta slow down.
Yeah.
Now you gotta slow down.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, Jaquaski Tart.
Should have had that interception in the NFC Championship game. Stafford would not have.
If the Lions had Stafford right now, they would be the actual best team in football.
Well, you know what? Matthew Stafford had plenty of time to make it work, and he couldn't.
Slow down.
And then he went to Goff's team and instantly made it work.
You have to bail on your team to win the Super Bowl.
Struggled without his Avengers.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.